Hey there viewers, and welcome back to the Southland Auto Channel. That's a 2014 Chevrolet. It's a Captiva. It's got the big 2.4 and it's a used car special. So she's fresh from the auction. No prior history on the car. My used car guy dropped it off, said the change transmission fluid light was on and also the service airbag light was on. Jay, SMA's most eligible bachelor, took care of the transmission mumbo jumbo. He changed the training fluid in it, reset the light, got that good. So it can be sold as a one-owner, low mileage, well-maintained. However, I decided to look at the airbag light, and I'll show you the codes that it has. I pulled them up here on the GDS. Pretty sure I know what's going on with it. I want to bring you guys along. So on the GDS here, bring it up on your screen. We'll full screen it for you. You can see these are the only codes that are in the car. Did a full system scan. So this one I induced, this loss of comm, because I had to unplug, and you can see that's a history code. So I did look at this car yesterday. And then we have a code stored in the airbag module, basically stating that it has a code stored in the passenger presence module. And in the passenger presence module, we have this performance code for an invalid signal. So just to catch you up to where we're at, it is B0074. When I looked in service data for that code, it was pretty cut and dry, pretty easy. It gave a nice explanation as to how the passenger presence system works as a silicone type bladder in the passenger seat, and can detect different zones on the seat depending on, like, if you have something in there, a child seat, it can detect the difference between several different types of loads, from an adult to a kid to an object, you know, things like that. But essentially was stating that the signal that is sending back to the inflatable restraint module was invalid. And then it gave you know, some more brief descriptions on that. The testing for it was pretty cut and dry. First you have to use GM SPS, so you have to go in and program the module to unlock it to be able to perform a 0-point calibration, or a I can't remember their exact terminology, but basically to, you know, reset it with nothing in the seat, a preload, relearn, something along those lines. But basically to recalibrate it with an empty seat, you have to go and unlock it. So I had done that on that's currently in the vehicle, and then of course, you know, it immediately failed the test because there was codes present. So thank you, service data, for not giving me that bit of info. At that point, it's just a matter of checking, you know, do we have power and grounds going to the module? If we do, put a new module in it, and that includes the bladder on the bottom of the seat. Fine. I go to order one. They're $700 and some change from GM. You know, not a big deal. It's not my money. But the problem is they're on an infinite back order with no expected delivery date, and they've been on back order for an extremely long time, according to my GM dealer. So we got us a used seat from the wrecking yard. It's a beauty. She's a one owner. Had a little bit of snow in it. We don't know if it's any good. And what I'm going to attempt to do in this video is we're going to replace the seat. We're going to put that seat in. We're going to go in. We're going to unlock that module, make sure it has the right software in it. That came out of a 2013. This is a 14. I've already checked the VIN numbers on both cars to make sure they use the same module, and they do. And hopefully that seat's good. We don't know. Salvage yard doesn't know, but it's a whole lot cheaper and more efficient than waiting for the new module to show up. First thing first, we're going to come under the seat. The OG seat. This is the original. We're going to unplug some of the airbag stuff here. A couple 2-3 connectors under here. Oh. I did unhook the battery just for your safety. I wanted no seat airbag blowing up in our faces. The connectors are a bit of a piss pot to get to under here. You can see my breath. But I was like, there's no sparks flying. We'll get these unplugged, and then I think the seat just unbolts from the back. And before we even take and put any effort into cleaning up the junkyard seat, we're just going to plug it in and see if we've obtained a good seat or not. Hopefully we have, because that would kind of suck. Well, it kind of sucks to trying to do this with my camera in the way. Come on, baby. Just had this thing unhooked yesterday. Bing bong. There we go. Now I can kind of see. Figure out how this white clip comes out of this one. There we go. There's that airbag connector. And then we just got the one here. Well, the powers and such. Come on, little fella. There she goes. There's that. So there's all 3 seat connectors. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we'll slide the seat all the way ahead. Whee! Come into the back of the vehicle. Set up our light. Can anybody see? We'll move the floor mat. She's pretty dirty for being just detailed. Ready for the car lot. That's interesting. This bolt's loose. Wonder who left that loose. Some other guy. This one right here is the one I'm talking about. That one's loose. Now we gotta see what holds these things on. Hopefully not much. Yeah, they just slip right off like so. There's that one. And then there's another one over here that I'm not gonna move the camera for, but it comes off in the same fashion, I'm sure. Come on, baby. Oh, this one's got more goo on this side. Here she goes. And that one slips. Hey, look, a wrapper. Ricola. Must got the Loctite. Nope, they got the Rust-Tite. Oh, it's warm. Set that over there with the Ricola paper. Boom! Not the worst we've seen, folks, but look at that, we get a lighter. Oh, there she goes. You can still smoke the cigarettes. This car's so clean, it's still got the little film on the carpet. They can sell it like that. Like, lady, we peeled the film off the carpet. That's how nice this one was. So we'll leave all the trash in there for right now because we just want to plug in the seat before we get too far. We don't even have to bolt it down. I very gingerly slip the new seat in. Just have it sitting in here. We're going to plug everything in. Airbags and such. Oops. I don't have the seat bolted down, but we do have all three connectors plugged back in. And let's go hook the battery up and scan for codes. You would have thought that just set off my door dinger. We're not going to tighten her up too tight, just enough to make contact. Okay, so it's going through, it's going to check for codes in all the modules. It should. Alright, so we have still codes in the passenger present. Let's look and see what we have. All history codes. So what we're going to do is take and clear them out. Okay, and then we're going to refresh our scan here. Everybody looks happy now. Look at that. Looks like we have a good seat. So now I'm curious if we go in there, if we can do this 0-point calibration or preload calibration or whatever the heck they had called it. So we're going to go right into this module. So ignition on, battery voltage, operating temperature, remove all objects. And it stated in service data that if this didn't function, that you have to go through and massage the seat like this. Give it a massage. This module is locked, as you can see, so we're going to have to go in, unlock it, you know, which is, it's ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen, but you have to go in and unlock it, and you have to pay to do that. So if you put a used seat in it, you got to pay the piper, so you have to pay a programming fee. I would say, being that we know the seat functions and that sensor isn't, you know, totally kaput, it doesn't set codes, we would be safe to go in, safe to get that seat a little cleaned up, clean some of the garbage out of the car, get it bolted in, torqued down to specs, and then go through the process of recalibrating it so it can accurately tell who's sitting in the seat. Maybe we'll tighten up this bolt, be a nice guy. We've got about as clean as we're gonna get it. Not a detail shop. Neither was the last one that worked on it. I do have the seat cleaned up. Let's wipe off the side of this console here, get the old milkshakes and juice off it. Before we put the new seat in. Make it a little bit nicer. They got some thick sheen over top of everything. They sprayed the grease on the inside of this car pretty thick. So now that that's cleaned up, and I've got the seat cleaned up way better than the one that we took out, so it should look a lot nicer. We should be good to go now. Give me a light, Jason.
Sure. This one or you want?
Yeah, that will work. Just got to see these front hooks here. Oh, I'm way off. I got the seat. There we go. Ah, my tracks are off. There we go. Let's see, I think we're good. All right, beautiful. Now that they're all torqued down, we will install or reinstall little plastic doohickeys here. They just slide over and got a clip that latches in to the hole there, in case you're wondering. This side's got a little plastic tab. Line them up here. There. I guess that's it. They just sit on there. Don't really retain with much. Just for looks, I guess. So that's the seat we took out. It's a little nasty. Looks like somebody might have went pee-pee in the seat. It's pretty gross. Here's one we're putting in. A little better, a little nicer. To be honest with you, sometimes I wonder to myself, like I say, self, what did somebody do in the seat to get the seat to look like that? And that's just, it's kind of the way my brain works. And then I think of all kinds of weird stuff. So we're going to see if we can't get this lock back in the airbags here. And get the module plugged back in here. Get the lock back in it. Oh, that lock already slid in. And this one here has a shorting bar and a latch. Okay, so those are all latched in. The seat is torqued to spec, obviously, and latched where it's supposed to be. And it rolls. We'll leave her in the back position and she tilts and everything's good. Tilt her back. All right, beautiful. So now that the hard work is done, we're going to go through the process of unlocking it so we can perform the calibration on it, hopefully. So this is a 2014 Chevrolet, and it's a light-duty truck, MPV incomplete, and it is the Captiva Sport Edition. It's a pretty quick process to unlock. I think the file is only like 10 bytes. It's pretty small. So I've got the battery maintainer hooked to the vehicle right now. We're going to communicate with it, let it pull the VIN number, and then we're going to go to passenger presence. And you can see there where it says programming and unlocking. Sounds like the car's gonna blow up over there. Why did it disconnect from that?
Transmission.
Transmission?
Yeah, didn't like this.
Oh, could be because why the heck does this keep disconnecting? So a lot of times when it goes through the programming process, it takes all the other modules off the data network and programs just the one. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but I've been wrong before. So it's interesting that it shows the current ID number is unknown, and even after you go through and unlock this, it still comes up as unknown, but it does work. What in the thunder? I should probably be connected to that MDI instead of doing this wirelessly, but like I say, it's a really small file and it pops through real quick. I did it on the other one yesterday, so we'll see here. Boom. Yep, 10 whole bytes. There it is, it's all set. So now we're gonna clear all the codes out of it if it generated any. Then we'll shut the key off, wait about 30 seconds, and hopefully be able to go through and do our process. So we're back on here with the GDS. We've already, oh wow, death! Sure, that thing's gonna kill us if we don't look at it. Oops, I'm gonna go back here. We're just gonna, even though we cleared the codes, we're just gonna double check here to make sure that it really did. We'll let it run through a quick system scan. And then we'll go through and hopefully that this one will re-zero itself like it should. All right, we do have one in the airbag module. Let's see what that code is. It says passenger presence malfunction. Better not be a malfunction in there. Let's see, because it didn't show any codes in it. Let's just go in there and see. All right, yeah, there's no code stored in the passenger presence. Let's see if we can do the calibration with it or the configuration, the reset, now that we've unlocked it. Lost communication with passenger presence module. That's fucking handy. It says we're still connected to our MDI down here. That's for grins and giggles. See if we can talk to it. It's in run. Empty seat. It is recognizing it's empty. Just for the heck of it, sit in that seat for me, Jay. And sit way back away from the airbag. No, just kidding. It wouldn't hurt. Let's see if it says tall guy. I can't remember what it can say. There's 5 or 6 different things.
Say most eligible bachelor.
Most eligible bachelor. Just
Oh, the seat's wet.
You're an occupant type 6. It just profiled you.
You know, fat.
I don't know what it means. It means tall, handsome, eligible. All right, go ahead and hop out.
This car's all right.
Go ahead and hop out. Let's see if make sure it changes. Empty seat. So it seems to work. Why didn't the process work for us? Let's try our process again. Very normal. Temperature is the correct operating. I don't remember seeing any temperature spec in service data. Remove all objects. Continue. The module is locked. How is it locked? We've already unlocked it. All right, folks, I got to do some poking because this is pissing me off. Stupid cars. So it appears to me that every time we try to do that, relearn, that you have to go in with the OE tool and actually unlock it every single time. Well, I don't want to keep doing that because it keeps failing using the GDS, so using the factory scan tool. I've booted up AllTell, and we're going to see if AllTell can do us a better job. So we'll let it run through a system scan. I've gone through, I've unlocked it yet again. And that code that initially was in the airbag module after a key cycle had turned to a history code. So that could have been just some results of programming it. It's just about done here. Sometimes the AllTell will let you do stuff the OEM won't, or at least it tells you that it does do. So do we know if it really does? Probably not. But so we're going to go under special functions. Look at that. Ignition off, voltage, temperature within correct range, remove all objects. Module is locked. Request to unlock the module before continuing. So we have to go in. I have to go in and unlock it yet again, one more time. Awesome. So one last time we're gonna unlock it. If it doesn't work with the AllTell after we unlock it yet again for the third time here, or fourth time maybe, we're gonna have to come up with plan D. So there it is, it's unlocked. We're gonna close this all out now that you guys can see it. And I'm gonna plug in the AllTell, we'll clear all the codes out with that and then try to, get it to do its thing. All right, and naturally we're gonna have some codes stored in it. And I'm thinking, now that I've been through the process a couple times, now service data doesn't tell you Zippy Zap about the process other than what to do, but it doesn't tell you what to expect. So we're gonna clear the codes out of the ABS module, electric parking brake. I imagine it's gonna keep this code in the airbag module, which states that it has a problem with the passenger presence module, which it doesn't have, but I'm wondering if it sees that it's not, calibrated. Because if we go to the report here, let's see, what code does that throw? Yeah, passenger presence module malfunction, current code. We could look up that B0081 and see in service data, but prior to doing that, I like to push buttons. So we're gonna come here, we're gonna go to special functions. It should be unlocked now. We've done all this. See if AllTell will do it. Progress, boom. Wow, that was quick. Procedure complete, it won. Look at that. And then technically, if I tried to do that again, it should say it's locked, I'm assuming. Yeah, module's locked. So it gives you one shot. And then I'm assuming also that if we go back into the airbag module, that this code that's in here will now be a history code instead of a current code. I could be wrong. History, not current, no request. So now that code should be able to go away. Like this. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. So that's how you do it. If you have the factory scan tool, it won't work. You're gonna need an AllTell. That's fucking disappointing if you ask me. Now we should be able to look here. Empty seat. So you were a number 6, Jay. I want to go see what I am. I want to see how it rates me.
Okay, let's see here.
See if I'm a passenger.
Careful, she's wet there.
Oh,
Damp in the seat.
that's not my first time. What's it say I am? Anything?
Occupant type 6.
Ooh, we're both. And then the airbag light turns on, saying that the passenger side is on. And the fasten seatbelt light comes on, so it must work. Service data, when you look in there, it tells you all the different types of people, the classifications as to what it is, child, this and that. So if you want to know all the difference, does passenger classification 6 means you're the most eligible bachelor at SMA? I think not, because I sat in the seat. So, but you can see what they all mean in service data. That's that. I'm going to assume that we're done. Everybody's happy, no codes, everything works. Well, there you have it, folks, fixing the passenger presence module in your Chevy Captiva 2014 Big 2.4. Make sure when you're doing this kind of stuff, swapping used airbags, that you abide by your local area and federal laws, as we did when we did this, and swapping the original airbag back into the used seat, and only utilizing just the passenger presence module, if you know what I mean. So make sure you're doing that. And it is disappointing to see that for whatever reason the factory scan tool just wouldn't work. And it's not a big surprise. You'll find that quite often. But it is disappointing, because you spend tons of money every year and months on programming programming files and stuff from the OE, and pay for their OE scan tool, and have we're not even using a Chinese knockoff clone MDI, but there's a glitch in everything. All scan tools suck. That's why I don't do scan tool reviews, because some work better than others. In this case, we had to unlock it with the OEM tool and then use the AllTell to actually finish the job. If I was at the Chevrolet dealer, I don't know what they would do, because if that's the only tool they have in their shop, they'd be up the creek with no paddle, if that makes sense. And that's that, folks. Go down there, comment section, questions, comments, criticisms, concerns. Subscribe, find us on the Insta, the Facebook. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.